Hey, folks. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hey, Ananya. Welcome. Hi. And happy Friday. Forkin Friday. How you doing, Ian?
Fork me. Is it already Friday?
Is it really Friday?
Yeah, I'm excited. You know what I forgot though? I have a shirt that I got from GitHub many years ago that says Fork you on it. And I never wear it because it always feels inappropriate. And
I
somehow I
don't
could have
know.
worn it
I
today.
feel like ever since watching The Good Place, have you watched The Good
I
Place?
love the
Where they
good place.
replace,
Yeah.
I love it too, where they replace all of the swear words with like things like shirt and fork. I think that has really mainstreamed fork as a neutral, primetime TV friendly word that we can all use. It's not a bad word. It's fork.
Well, I'm
Um,
ready to lean in then.
yeah, totally. Oh, thanks so much, Ananya. Yeah, I changed up my work from home setup a little bit. I think it's important to, you know, since since the pandemic doesn't seem to be letting up, been trying to lean into, nesting a bit. So thanks. How is everybody doing? Where's everybody coming in from? I'm Anjana Vakil. I am a developer advocate based in San Francisco, in foggy San Francisco of the summer. And Ian, you're here
I'm
too. Hello.
Ian. Yeah, Ian Johnson, DataViz developer, and I am in Hotlanta. It is 95 degrees every day lately, but we also have air conditioning, so balances out.
People think that that there's like a screw loose, but I honestly really prefer the hot, humid summers. Maybe it's because I am from upstate New York too. What's up, Rochester? Yo, Schenectady over here. How's it going, Bert MB? Um, hey, Brett. Oh wow, yeah, Brett. Can we just give a shout out to Hell on Earth is it Hello Near This or Hell on Earth is Brett? I don't know, but
I
anyway,
understand
Brett.
it could be either.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, Brett is not near to us. Is over in New Zealand and has been getting up with us every morning at a ridiculous time of the hour. So can we just Brett is like our Twitch superstar here. We are just always so glad to see you. So good morning, and I hope that you have even more coffee than I have. Hey, what's up? Alex here too. And Chris, hey, how's it going? Hi, everybody. So it's Friday. We're here. We thought, we'd had a big week. If folks, if not everybody, like Brett, has been following along with all of our live events, we have been doing a million things this week, wouldn't you say, Ian?
Oh, yeah.
We had a great stream with our ambassador, Olivia Vane, on Tuesday. We had Mike Bostock and Shirley Wu hanging out with Ian on Wednesday. Yesterday, we had Molly and Melody talking about what's going on with the company at Observable. And so if you missed any of those, you can catch all of the recordings on our Twitch videos on demand and on YouTube. But it's been a big week. So I don't know, Ian, I would love to know. And question for everybody in the chat too. What's been a highlight for you this week? What's been one standout thing from your week? And feel free, chat folks, let us know how your weeks have been too.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, doing the stream with Mike and Shirley was a huge thing for me. I'm a huge fan of both of them, their work, and it was really fun to we did some data exploration with Shirley's data. Mike, guided us using Plot. I've been really obsessed with Plot since it came out a couple months ago, using it wherever I can. And so to me, that was probably that was one of the big highlights, getting to do that, push that, learn that. Yeah, I'm a huge geek for Plot right now, so.
Yeah, and I think it's amazing to see three I guess data viz geek is one way one could identify, but I would say three people who are just super passionate about data viz all hanging out in the stream. So that was amazing. Thank you so much for hosting that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody in the chat, how's your week's been? got any highlights or plans for the weekend? Share with us. For me, I think definitely hanging out with Olivia. I learned so much about maps and how to do like the Turf.js, this library that we were playing, that Olivia was playing with in her waterline maps, is something back from my Mapbox days that I had played with a couple years ago. Oh, speaking of which, what's up, Mapbox? Solidarity, the workers' union vote starts today. If y'all folks haven't heard of that, they're trying to unionize over at Mapbox. Anyway, I thought it was really fascinating. It was nice for me personally to be back in a little bit of the geo world. Yeah, woo! Data job interviews going on. All right, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
For Crystal Keller and Brett's got some cool tides imagery. Yeah. Lots of useful libraries floating around. It's been great to see what everybody's been up to this week. So what are we going to get up to today? It's like Friday. By the time I'm done blabbering, it's going to be Saturday. Should we do some forking? What do you think, Ian?
I think we should. I think, there's a lot of great notebooks on Observable. I mean, we could fork all sorry. But where to start is the question.
Where to start? Yeah. So what we were thinking for today, and this is going to be super collaborative. Oh, and thanks for those links there. Yeah, those are some of those libraries that we learned about on Monday's stream related to geo stuff. Thanks, Brett. And we are going to be trying to do a little casual repurposing, let's say, of things that people have already made so that we can get something cool, hopefully, with as little time and effort as possible. Because I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired. It's been quite a week. I don't want to start from scratch with building some data viz. So I am excited that we are going to be kind of seeing how we can take some of the really cool and imminently forkable notebooks that Ian and other folks on the team have been putting together as part of our templates collection to see how we can fork those and repurpose them and make something cool out of them. So shall we take a look here at this beautiful observable templates page and just shout out to our design team. Like, look how pretty. But anywho, so Ian, can you tell us a little bit about what we're looking at here? This is on observablehq.com/templates. What are we looking at?
Yeah, so these are a collection of notebooks that are actually designed to help you get started quickly. So these initial ones you see, the boilerplates, are kind of the things that you do over and over if you're, let's say, doing data visualization with D3, or you're making maps, right? Like, instead of having to type out the same thing over and over, you could choose one of these and fork it, and then it would get you, most of the way there. Then you add your data and you do your stuff. And we have that for a variety of visualization and web graphics technologies and libraries.
Yeah, cool. So we got some like a wide variety of stuff going on here.
Right. Yeah. And we got Mapbox in there.
Woo!
Then we also have these integrations, which are much more, they're similar in concept of like get you started, but they're focused on third-party APIs. So things like GitHub has a nice API, or if you use Google Sheets and you have a lot of data sets in there, you could like get started with that easier without having to remember how to set that up. Or even things like cloud services like AWS, we have those ready. So like it takes away some of the, figuring out how to get your API key and put it in the right place and call the library, that kind of stuff.
Sweet, awesome. And then I think we also had some of these more like, what do I want to say, more report-like kind of notebooks down at the bottom here?
Yeah, these you could think of somewhere between like little mini apps and reports, where it's like there's a specific thing that it does for you if you give it, like, if you just set one thing. Like you might upload a piece of data, like a survey, and it will like help you visualize that survey or analyze it. Or if you have some user retention data from one of your tools, you can put it in there. It gives you a nice viz. So like these are a little bit more focused on a specific value that might be useful to you, and if it is, it gives you that very easily, and cool. You can then see how it's the code driving that. Like some of these are based on GitHub, for example, so you could extend that and customize it pretty easily as well.
Awesome. So I think you've covered some of these in like some of our past streams. So I think we're not going to talk too much about like these like template, these like kind of more elaborate report things. What we're going to look at today is some of these little boilerplate starters. They're almost like just sort of out of the box. Like let's build some maps and stuff. So what do you think we should try and make today?
Well, I think that like, maybe like the plot scatter plot is one I think would be fun, just because, like I said, I've been geeking out about plot a lot.
That opened up here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like we could upload a data set and just see what it's like to get started with this one. I think, there was also like a D3 world map, like map making with D3 is like a very powerful and custom thing you can do.
Yeah.
But there's always a lot of setup to go. So like we could walk through what this gives us and then try to plug in a data set and visualize something.
I love this. Okay, so so I love maps. So let's do some mapping. Let's do some scatter plotting. And folks are also sharing ideas in the chat. So this is a really cool idea. Abitrolli shares about it would be cool to have a way to calculate donation capacity visually, like for a hackerspace or maybe other like community organizing or community initiatives. See how much money you need, how much money you have coming in from donations. That would be super awesome. I wonder if if somebody, if Abitrolli or somebody from the community wants to roll with that, we would love to see y'all fork some of these templates, or take some of these, like take a couple of charts, like a scatter plot or what have you, pull them together. Maybe you could pull data from like a Google Sheets, for example. We have a Google Sheets starter here in our integrations. So it would be super awesome to see if somebody wants to fork one of these, like the Google Sheets starter, et cetera, and try and pull together something for donation and expenses for nonprofits. That would be amazing. I love that idea. Thanks so much.
I think it's awesome. Also, I wonder if we could look real quick. There's a business template that is the targets versus actuals.
Ooh.
And it's a very simple template. And I think that like if someone wanted to do something like that, it'd be fairly easy to repurpose for that. And I could like,
oh yeah, good call.
I could quickly point out why I think that is. Because this is basically, yeah, nice. This is showing, like, you give it a data set where you say, like, the target we have for a time period. So in this case, it's showing years, but you could say, like, let's say it's months for rent, right? So let's say you need to raise, I'll just pick like $100. I mean, who knows where you could pay $100 for some space, but $100 every month. And so like you would put in your spreadsheet or your CSV file, if you scroll down just a little bit, there's like one column is your target. So you put your number, like, let's say the first of every month you need to have $100. And then you'd have the actuals, and that could be like the donations you've gotten so far in that month. And so as long as you prepared your data in that way, you'd have this nice visualization that would show, like, fill up the bars and show you how much donations are covering for that rent.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I love it. And thanks so much for this suggestion, Abitrolli. And then welcome to the channel and to the chat. This is awesome. And I just want to, as a little added incentive, now that Ian has laid out how one might go about this, just want to add that we are currently running a whole contest in which you can be rewarded for forking some of these templates and putting them together into maybe a new forkable template, maybe a visualization of whatever kind. We've been running, starting this week, we're running a contest that we are calling Fork to Win with the hashtag Observable FTW. So you can read about it on our blog, in the blog post I just dropped in chat. And essentially, if you fork one of these notebooks that we've been showing off on the templates page and then publish the fork and share it on Twitter with the hashtag Observable FTW, you could win. We're giving away a copy of this Charty Party board game. We're giving away observable swag. So you can win some fun prizes. And of course, we will be shouting from the rooftops to share your work. So just a little extra cherry on the forking Sunday there. But this is an amazing idea. I would love to see. So, okay, so that's kind of how we could think about doing some financial analysis here. I think today we're going to try and celebrate another competition that's going on, which is the Olympics, right? Have people been watching? Have y'all been watching the Olympics? I have not really. I've been watching like clips, that people share on Twitter and social media and whatnot, but that is about it. But
I want to catch up on the skateboarding. I grew up skateboarding and didn't even realize it's an Olympic sport now. So
I know.
First, check that out.
Yeah, and surfing is also in it for the first time this year, right?
Oh wow.
And climbing, which I'm excited about because I do a little casual, the opposite end of the spectrum from Olympic athletes climbing, but they have like speed climbing and stuff, and it is wild to watch. It looks like you're watching somebody get pulled up like a wall with like like cinema style with like invisible wires, but no, they're just really, really strong, powerful athletes. Anywho, there's a lot of exciting stuff going on at the Olympics. We thought it would be cool to celebrate that with some Olympics viz today. What do y'all think? Sound good?
I think it's gonna be a cool data set. I mean, I got to peek a little bit at it, tried not to get too far ahead, but our colleague Zan put together this awesome notebook that basically hands us the data on the platter so that we can explore it.
Woo! Thank you so much, Zan. Zan is up in the chat. Hey, Zan.
Hey.
And we are just so grateful. Zan has pulled together some really cool data here. So this is some data from a data set found on Kaggle, which is a great source for some really big data sets, because I believe it's especially useful for like training machine learning models and things like that. So we're going to be, I think, working with some subsets here, but there's a notebook here with some information about this data set. So let me drop that in here. And thank you so much, Sam, for sharing that with the community and with us and putting it together in the first place. And so, so let's see. We're going to be, I think, importing some data from this notebook. So we have some little instructions here of how we can import it. And woo, Zan's on the way to the airport. Safe travels. Let me just share with y'all this notebook here. So this data set, we can, because it's an observable notebook, we can import things from it. So that's what we're going to be doing. But in order to do that, we probably need a notebook of our own to work in, don't we, Ian?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so we said, do we want to start with a scatter plot? Do we want to start with a map? We want to do both, right?
Why don't we start with the scatter plot? It might be good warm up.
Let's do it. Okay. Yeah. So I'm on this. I went to this observable plot scatter plot from the templates page. And I am going to listen to this big green banner in the top, and I'm going to fork to get started here. Lots of teams for me here. I'm going to create this fork in my personal account. And then I want Ian to be able to join me here. Let me just share that plot link. So I want to share this with Ian. So I'm going to go in my little notebook actions menu here and to the share button. So this is a thing we added recently. If y'all haven't played with Observable Next yet, you should, because there's some cool stuff in it. Like, for example, now I can, you're probably End a lot, aren't you? I can find Ian and I can share a private notebook with him where we can both edit it. Look at that. But in this case, we probably want to publish this so everybody can follow along with us, right?
Let's do that, yeah.
Okay, so let's publish this. I'm going to give it a new URL, customize the URL. How about like plot, scatter plot, forking Friday. All right, I'm going to publish this so we can all follow along, and we'll republish it as we go here. All right, so this is our fork, and Ian, you should have now been invited to it. So I see Ian has now shown up. His little avatar is right there. Sup, Angela? Welcome.
Hello, hello. You might need to scroll down a smidge to see my.
There you
are.
Oh,
yeah. So like I'm poking around in the code here.
Yeah, so this is cool. We can now see each other editing as we go. So that's pretty sweet. Okay, so we want to get some of this Olympics data in from Zan's awesome Olympics data set. And Zan has already told us how we can do that. Let's see, which of these ones do we want to look at here? So here we've got, this is the gymnastics table and specific to this one sport. Looks like, so that's gymnastics. We've got a couple other things I think we can choose here.
Yeah, so I think athletics is track and field.
Okay.
And then there's one where it's, I think, like an early year or a few years, right? So like 1920, 1964, and 2016, which is like all the different sports.
Okay.
I think I think we could start with the gymnastics.
Let's do it. Gymnastics is like, everybody's talking about gymnastics this year because of everything going on with Simone Biles and of the gold medal win from the U.S. team and everything. So I think gymnastics deserves our love. I don't know if we want to talk about the whole Simone Biles thing, but I think she's badass. I admire
it.
So let's import gymnastics from here. I'm just going to copy this. Thanks, Sam, for making this so dang easy. Whoops, wrong notebook. Okay, so this is all right, so previously our data was this, but now I'm going to import gymnastics. And you know what, can I just, what if I do this? And then if I do this, everything's going to break, right? So let's look at some breakage. So what I've just done is assign this alias of data to the gymnastics thing from the gymnastics array from the other notebook. So if you haven't used this, import whatever as something else. Super handy way to make some aliases. But now Observable is upset because I have two datas. So what if I just delete this? See what happens. All right, now things are slightly less broken, but still pretty broken.
Yeah, well, it's kind of fun. One of the things that I like about Plot is that it generally doesn't error out at you and yell at you for doing something wrong. Like, it just shows you what it can. And since we left the code from the other data set, it can't really show us anything. So we could easily, though, fix that and choose some fields from our data set that we do want to see.
Okay. So we don't have before we had like a penguin data set. The default example uses a penguin's data set. So we have like flipper length and body mass. Obviously, well, I don't know. Maybe the aquatics sport athletes actually do have flippers. Like, that would explain a lot. But I think we're assuming we're dealing with mostly humans here. So
yeah,
we probably need to change out some of these things. So should we look at the data?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. What if we do a table? Inputs.table data. Okay, so this is our handy dandy little like built-in observable inputs here, letting us do some good, nice little interactivity and also nice display things like table. What do you think here, Ian? What's our next move?
Super handy way to just quickly look in. It's definitely the first thing I reach for when I'm looking at any data set. So I mean, yeah, we can immediately see like things that we could look at on a scatter plot, right? We could look at height and weight distributions. We could, then there's the nice thing, the stroke in this one is talking about the color of the circles. And so that's typically something you'd use a category. So we could have like, this has season, like summer or winter Olympics. We could see if there's a difference between those. We could have it colored based on the medal. There's, of course, there's sex, gender, or whatever, right? We could also look at like age and is another, like compared against height and weight.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's some other stuff we could get into with plot, like that we could add to this. But let's start maybe with the most straightforward thing we want to try, and then and go from there.
Okay, so what should we look at here? I feel like, and if folks have suggestions in the chat, we are all ears. And ooh, yeah, okay. So Brett, so nice, New Zealand, excellent wins in women's rowing. I think this one is we just have to gymnastics data, but for the other data sets in that notebook we'd shared, I'm sure there's some rowing stats in there you could play with. So feel free to take it your own direction. Oh, and while I think of it, let me republish this so that folks can see our updates so far. Okay, so what would make a good scatter plot here? I know we often do like the height and weight of athletes and whatever. That's in a lot of the textbook examples, but like, I don't know. Maybe we could do something else. Like, what do you think? Like,
well, I think to start with, like, there aren't that many numeric dimensions in this data. So
maybe that makes
because
sense.
it's so quick to flip between them, I think it's okay to just like start with that.
Let's just make sure. Yeah, I agree. I take it back. I take back what I said. Let's just see that we can make a plot here. That'll at least make us feel accomplished. And you wanted to do the stroke of these.
Let's just take off the stroke first and just see what happened. Well, what do we get when we do
I deleted your cursor. No,
nice.
All right. So all right, we have dots. Woo! We made a thing. Okay. Yeah. And oh my gosh, with the little rings, it reminds me of the Olympics. Okay, but now I do like the color idea. So if I change the stroke based on one of these dimensions, then that's going to change the color of the outline of each of these circles, right?
Right.
So I like your idea of using the season. I'm going to try that out. Did that update? Oh, no, it's gymnastics. So
gymnastics is always in the summer. Oh, right. Yeah, that would be the other one. Yeah.
That makes sense. How about the team? Like we could see different countries, right?
There may be quite a few teams though. Okay. So, I mean, it's worth just trying.
Let's just, I don't know. I just want to see some different colors here. Okay, it's beautiful. I don't know that I can tell a lot of information.
It's even more like the Olympics.
It is. It does look like the Olympics logo. How do I get like if I wanted some text to show up like as a tooltip on these?
Well, so tooltips are an in development feature for plot, but there is a plugin, a quick way that we can get it. So Mike Freeman, one of our esteemed colleagues, has set up this plot tooltip notebook, which I will share in the chat and with you as well.
Thanks.
And oh, I guess I could also I could just copy this cell in, but if you wanted to open it,
yeah, let me grab
once I do that, yeah, you could also click on the link it creates at the bottom there. So this add tooltips function I added at the bottom of the imports.
Let me get a new tab going here. Too many windows happening. Okay. So you've imported this now at the bottom here. Excellent, excellent. And this is this notebook that we're looking at here.
Exactly. And so it's just a handy way that if you tell plot what the text that you want to put for every point using the title attribute, and then you pass your whole plot into that tooltips function, then it will create the tooltip for you. Like
dang, that. Nice. Okay, let's do it. Thanks, Mike. We're making such a cool thing. Okay, so first we have to do, so you've imported now add tooltips. So first we have to wrap this whole thing in add tooltips, right?
Yes.
My computer is like, excuse me, you're trying to do a live stream and type things into a complex in-browser web environment? Like, what? I'm a little slow. Okay, and so then I need to, in the marks section, add a title attribute, right?
Yes.
Okay, and now we don't have islands and bill lengths anymore, but let's maybe do, I don't know, what would be interesting to know here? Maybe
The
name.
name, the metal,
Okay, let's do
and the team probably.
okay,
If we're
so let's do
coloring by
like
team.
name, d dot name, not bill depth. Let's see, metal, it's just called metal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And feel free to, the beauty of this multiplayer editing is we can both do this at the same time. And then what else do we want to know? The sport, what is it called? Sport event?
Well, it'll
Not
be
the
the
sport,
same
the event,
sport.
like
But
vault
yeah,
or rings.
the event would be. Oh, I would put the team as well, since we're coloring by the team. Then we can verify like what the team is.
Cool. And I think it might be interesting to have the events in there.
Okay, and our friend Brett has two really good ideas in the chat that I want to try soon. So when we get this.
Yeah, okay. So let's get this. Let's just see. We can just do a basic one here. No, what I do. What did I do?
I'm going to do a little bit of formatting to like.
Thanks. I think I usually have prettier autocomplete on.
Is it pretty? Is it, what is it? Option. I forget the shortcut.
Let's see. Let's look in our handy dandy keyboard shortcuts
are quite helpful
in the help menu here. Let's see. Editing code. Is it not in here?
Mine is
okay, well, by the time that I'm done looking for this, you're going to have figured it out. So let me just, never mind. Okay. I think I was missing curly braces or something.
All right, got it. Yay, got it.
Nice. Okay. Excellent. Okay, great. Okay, so it's basic, it's text only, but it's still helpful. Okay, next thing.
I want to know the year as well.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Well, no, because it's like, look at this. This great British Lanston Elliott is the tallest and heaviest gymnastics person. And
wow.
They didn't win though.
Rope climbing.
Yes, you know, sizes and everything, but
and we have some very small female gymnasts, it looks like here. Okay. All right. So yeah, you want to add in? Go ahead. You can.
Yeah. So I can. Well,
take the reins here.
Team events and. Well, and the nice thing with text is you can do like here. So now if I hover, yeah. That's other interesting. Using those backticks, you could like actually format it sort of directly like this.
Sweet.
Okay, so now we can like see the year. So that was in 1896.
Dang.
Which is the first year of the data set we have.
Dang.
Now this is a great starting point, right? Like we got from like some quick thing. We could switch out some dimensions. One thing we could do is, let's say, maybe instead of, well, we could choose weight or height, but let's say we switch. First of all, we could switch these really easy, right? If I said height on the Y, weight on the X, I get it slightly different. If I then switch the X to be age, then we see like, well, the oldest person was 45 in 1952.
Respect.
Yeah, right. And you can kind of start to see this distribution. I think the other thing that's happening, though, that we should be aware of is that there's many circles being plotted on top of each other because like it looks like the data you know, it's not like it's 165 centimeters, not 165.1 or whatever. So like if someone's the same height and the same age, they're gonna end up in the same place. So there's ways that we could deal with that. But the thing that I think would be maybe a little more fun to play with. Well, the other thing we could do is quickly is if we switch the X to year, then we also see like we get some sense of height distribution. Like there are people seem to shorter people were entering in, you know, as we go further, right? Like the shortest person is 2016.
Like gymnasts have been getting smaller.
Yeah. However, there's still tall ones.
Yes.
Now let's see. We're doing the color by team. I wonder if we colored by event, we might get. You can see that the different types of sports, like the men's pommel horse, are taller. The women's balance beam are shorter. And it, you know, stop me if I'm going too fast, but something I love to do with plot that's just like super quick but really interesting is faceting. So
yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, what I end up doing.
Let's find out. Oh, we're also wondering. Brett's wondering, does the size also relate to age? Good question.
Oh,
probably.
So here's another. Yeah, this is another great point. Is that often I will copy paste my plots as I go. And I don't know if. Do you mind if I share my screen?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. While you're doing that, I just want to see what happens if we swap out age over the years. Like, has that changed at all? Is that something that's...
Oh, yeah. So people did sort of get younger and then get older again.
Let's see. It looks like there was a lull in, it was like some, I don't know, a tough time for more middle-aged gymnasts in the 80s, I guess. We have some, these are formatted as, but that's no big deal. And then, but then recently there's been more folks over 40 or in the late 30s. Yeah. Late 30s folks. Okay. So meanwhile, you were going to share your screen. So let me swap this out. Okay.
Yeah. So what I end up doing often is like copying the plot. Like if I have something that works, right? Like this works, like this tells us something. Maybe we want to improve it. Maybe we want to like try something else. I tend to like keep going, like copy paste, and then I'm saying, okay, I want to do faceting, right? I don't want to lose my original view. It takes me 2 seconds to copy paste into a new cell, and then I can try something new. So in plot, we have our marks, right? Like that's, right now we only have one mark, which is a dot. But we can do some other things in this options thing here. So we could say facet, and what this is going to do is sort of break out our plot into small multiples by some category. So like if I say data is data, I have to tell it the data set, and I want it to match this. For basic usage, you just always want it to match. There's some advanced stuff that I don't have to get into now. But the other key important thing is like how I want to split it out. And since I'm visualizing over time is kind of a wider thing, I think I want to stack them on the y-axis. And so for the y-axis, I'm going to say, give me, split it out by event. And what I should see then is like the distribution for each of the sports. And it's, there's a lot more events than I anticipated, which is a cool thing to find out.
Yeah.
And we may, there may be more appropriate visualizations for like a box plot that, we could really get to see these distributions. But it's, to me, like it takes 2 seconds to add those like 2 lines of code. And then all of a sudden you get to learn something like this, like gymnastics men's individual all-around apparatus work. That was something in
only happened
1904,
one time.
or fields, like what is this? So back in 1904 and 06, they did some different things, and then
Interesting. Okay. So, and
Yeah.
there's some, so in the chat, Amatrelli was also saying it might be interesting to see people who are participating from year to year. So like, could you even do this on an individual basis? Could you make this facet instead of by sport? Could it be like by name? I mean, we'd have a million different things, but I guess you could see all of the different events that a single person was in.
Yeah. And one thing, like, I typically just turn to D3 real quick for something like this, just to get a sense, is if I say d.name, if I group on name, yeah, there's 4,000 people.
That's a lot. So maybe we
Yeah,
don't want to make that plot in the browser right now, but
yeah, exactly. But, or you can do roll-ups where you can say, I want to get the count. I want, you know, for every person, I get the array of data points, and then I want to count how many data points that is.
okay.
Or actually, I think is it group sort? Oh, sorry, group sort doesn't give me the counts. So the thing I end up doing is you get these, the name and events, and then we could say like, sort it like this, and then it should be like these people, they participated in a lot of events.
Sweet.
Right?
Okay, cool.
So, you know, there's a number of things you could do from here, like filter the data set to these and plot those.
So let's, do you want to republish too, so that folks can see where it's at now? And then folks can take this and run with it. You know, if you all want to play with it and see if you can find a way to answer those questions, like how does size relate to age, like Brett was asking, or how do people participate from year to year? What's their performance been? Has their number of medals changed? Things like that. So
the one thing is, I don't think I can republish. I need you to do it since it's your notebook.
Oh, you can't. Okay, wait. I thought I made you I guess you're still just an editor.
There was one.
Okay, republished.
Sweet. So yeah, if people want to fork from here, they can take further.
Just in case anybody has just joined us, this is the notebook that we're looking at.
There was one of Brett's ideas that's actually, or two, the emoji, like the metal thing.
Yeah, let's do it.
Like I feel like that would be super fun, and it's also very quick to do, and it's something that's like really exciting about plot is just like how little you have to think about that. And let me just show you. So we have our dot plot, right? And let's say instead of circles for each person that are colored by something, I'm going to take away the color. I'll leave the tooltip because why not?
That's useful. Okay.
But like instead of a circle, I want to place an emoji for a medal.
Yeah.
And all I have to do is replace text with dot with text, and then I can give it a text. And I could say, like, if I just said medal, we'll see what happens. But it's gonna put down the actual text for each one, right?
Okay, cool.
And so now, though, instead of just giving it that field, I can give it an accessor function, and I could say something like, I don't know, I'll just do this. If e.medal is gold, I'd return, where's the, why is it doing that? Okay,
while you're doing that, I just want to check, are folks still able to see us on Twitch?
Oh, I got some kind of message about like Twitch. I think
okay, we're back. Okay, sorry, there was some kind of disruption. Apparently, there may have been something going on. Okay, we're back. Woo!
Okay.
Sorry, folks. All right, thanks. We're back. Excellent. And hi everybody. Hi, Phil. Thanks, folks. Thanks, Chris and Brett. Sorry, we had a bit of a disruption. But meanwhile, Ian was working on making these emojis show up here. So we're going to try and get the gold, silver, and bronze medals going on. And then if there's nothing, then what? A sad face? No, just kidding.
I'm just going to put a period just to make it minimize like how much
let's do it.
Visual
oh, wow. Look at
it takes up. But that's pretty fun.
That's nice.
So, you know, like
And then I think there was also a suggestion of using the country emoji flag. So you could try that out too, to try to, use different, like map each country in the data set to the appropriate flag emoji. So again, exercise for later.
Yeah, maybe
Awesome.
we could like, instead of like not follow through that, but like I'll just quickly import it and show how I would do that. Like here's like a emoji lookup. The data set that they have here has like the country name as well as like the flag and stuff. So what, just so that, if someone does want to go with that, I would do it like this, in country emoji from that. And then now you have country emoji, and you could do, and then from here you could, do something similar to this, where if you get the team, right, look it up and replace it with the flag. And I think that would be pretty sweet to see. So definitely think it'd be cool if someone gave that a shot, tweeted it back at us with Observable FTW.
Yes, please do. Please do.
Yeah.
All righty.
You might even win something, right? Yeah.
I know. Yes, we have
a gold medal. In my book.
All right, awesome. So let me republish this so folks can enjoy. Run afoul of the saving changes situation. Oh well. But so the so this plot, there's a lot of different ways we could take it, but we've got something here. Let's see, we got a plot related question too from Chris. So in this instance, the domain property on an axis is we're using that to allow for a forced custom sort, or is there a way to force a certain color range, etc.? I will let Ian take this question as the resident plot expert.
Yeah, so I think what's being asked, so let me just demonstrate real quick. I'll do it here and then we can copy it out later, or comment it out. In the plot configuration, right? So we haven't said anything about the scales that this plot is using. We haven't told plot about it. It's using smart defaults and heuristics. Okay, and so Chris is asking for the best source of documentation. To give a little context, the scales are, there's an X and a Y scale, and then you can give a color scale. And so I think something like, you can override the domain or the range of that scale, or even the scheme, the color scheme, like this. So the documentation, the best source, I believe, is on the actual GitHub README.
That's where we've got like the API documentation, as opposed to more kind of introductory documentation of like general concepts, which we have on in the notebook. So on GitHub is probably where you want to go for understanding.
Yeah, I mean, this
API.
This collection of things does, like, the scales notebook is like the more thorough explanation and like how this stuff works, and it goes really in depth. So there is that, but I would recommend starting here. And I didn't know you could do this on GitHub, but in the README you can click up here and then you click scales, and so these are the scales you can override, and then it shows how you can do the domain. And then what Chris mentioned is, if you set the domain manually to something, like, and if it's a categorical thing, like where you have the different categories, the order you put them in there is what it will use to, like, let's say, render your bars. Otherwise, it does a smart default, like sorts things alphabetically. So yeah, this is where I'd look. The last thing I would, a resource I think I'd like to share with everybody is this awesome plot list we have. let's see, I think if we just say awesome plots, but this is like, I mean, plot is still being heavily developed, actively, adding new things. So we have documentation, there's also this early bird notebook. So you mentioned sorting. One of the things being hopefully shipping soon is that you can like sort by the values of data as a very simple
nice.
option in plot, where you just tell it like sort by this thing. So that's a handy addition. And then there's a lot of example, like we're linking to collections of people's examples. If you make an interesting plot, you can add a suggestion or comment on here. Yeah, so if you're learning plot, I'd say like this is a great place to find a lot of the resources we're using right now.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks. And great question. Thanks. All right. So yeah. So okay, we've only got a few minutes left. How do we feel in here? We made a scatter plot, or we made a bunch of scatter plots, really. But we saw how we could fork this plot scatter plot. Do we want to do anything else real quick in like 5 minutes?
Like I really want to do the flags, but I really feel like I want to give someone else the chance to do that. So
yeah, y'all please share with us your forks later, if you have a spare minute over the weekend or next week when you're bored with whatever else you're doing and want to change. Please share with us. Please share it with the hashtag ObservableFTW on Twitter, because don't forget we are running that contest. And yeah, Ian, you were saying, sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, maybe if folks have any other questions, could ask, we could chat a little bit. I know there's some other, like, while, if people are thinking of questions, there's some other things we have coming up we could probably talk about.
For sure. Do you think it's, I guess we don't have, I was hoping we could make a map, but I guess we'll leave that as an exercise to the reader.
Yeah, or, we could do it on another Friday. I think,
unfortunately,
the map, we could show it.
A little bit of work. We don't, you know what? We don't, it's Friday. We don't need to push ourselves too hard. We could take a page out of Simone's book and practice a little self-care and not, push ourselves past the limit. We said we would stream for an hour. We can just stop there. We can, if it's fun over the weekend, do a little mapping over our coffee or what have you. Yeah. We have other stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So let's see. I mean, if we go, our meetup has a few fun events on it. Maybe we can give a nice little banner for that, right?
Yeah.
So we'll be, let's see, Tuesday, Mike Bostock and Deepti, our head of product, will be talking about sort of this idea of the data viz tech stack. So we'll have, an Ask Me Anything where folks can ask Mike and Deepti about the future of Observable, how we're, thinking about data visualization, supporting the practice, building tools, and that sort of thing. And we'll be talking about where plot comes from, where it's going, where our templates come from, where they're going, that kind of thing.
Nice.
We have the API starting points stream, which will be focused on those integration templates we talked about in the very beginning, where we'll be playing with the data from these various services and just kind of showing the kind of stuff you can do with that. I'm excited about that because in the past, before I had Observable available to me, there was always so much work to spin up a new project and get your dev env going and just to see if the API works, And now you can just kind of oh, can I get the data I want to make my special little tool for? Yes. And then, the data viz starting points will be another stream like this, going through the different boilerplate starting points that we have. Maybe a quicker, broader sampling of the different rendering technologies like Canvas and SVG and that kind of thing.
Nice.
and 3G WebGL stuff
Yeah,
too.
3D stuff.
So
Very cool.
yeah,
Computer graphics stuff. Nice, nice.
yeah,
That's also bringing me back to my Mapbox GLJS days and
yeah,
working with
and
WebGL. Fun stuff. I love the variety of things y'all are going to be talking about the next couple weeks. So yeah, awesome. So please, everybody come back and join us. We need to do some more New Zealand time-friendly streams in the future so that Brett doesn't have to wake up at 4 a.m. But in the meantime, we have some of these, mornings in California and evenings and the middle of the night, in other places. And Brett also asked whether there are any new competitions coming up. So yeah, just a quick reminder of that that contest that we're running, hashtag Observable FTW, stands for fork to win and or for the win, depending on how you're feeling. So that is our currently running DataViz contest. We opened it on Monday, and it's going to stay open until August 8th at midnight PT. So right before, I think that it's a couple of those streams that you have on the 10th, right? So
yes, yeah,
I'm sure you'll be able to show off the winners in that stream on the 10th.
yeah, that'll be
and
fun.
You can win this really cool DataViz card game. Have you played this, Ian? Charty Party?
I have not. Unfortunately, I can't enter this contest. Otherwise,
I know. Well, I think the Observable team needs to get one for meetups and stuff. But anyway,
team bonding. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like apples to apples or something. If you've ever played that, or Cards Against Humanity,
cool,
but with DataViz, I think. And so
super fun.
It sounds pretty fun. And then we're giving away Observable swag. So we've got some fun swag to give away. Do we have any additional contests beyond that? Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Can't promise anything at the moment, but we will. We love doing these.
Yeah, good ones in the past. So
yeah, and if folks haven't seen the results from our the contest we ran in the earlier part of the year, we had a great live stream with some of the winners of our Women's History Month and Black History Month DataViz contests, and you can find that recording on YouTube if you want to check out some of the past winning notebooks and how they built them, because that was really cool to learn.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Alrighty, so without further ado, I think we're gonna let everybody get on with their weekends. Any fun weekend plans? Feel free to share in the chat. Let us know what you're up to. If you have any weekend projects planned, and we really hope to see forks from everybody. Like share them with us. We're always open to seeing your work. You can hop on over to the forum to if you need help with anything, if you want to find some answers to things, or if you just want to share what you've been doing with your with the rest of the Observable community. You can hop on over to talk.observablehq.com and join the conversation and subscribe to Meetup, and we will see you at the next streams and events. Right, Ian?
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Awesome, folks. So yeah, thanks so much, Ananya, for joining. And yes, thank you, Zan, for helping us out finding this Olympics data. Thanks, Brett, as always, for coming, and good luck with the D3 coding. Good luck with job interviews and figuring out your next moves, Chris, there. Welcome, Abitroli, and anybody else who is joining us for the first time. It's always amazing to see y'all. So have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time.
All right.
All righty. Bye, y'all.
Bye.